evening, Doctor. My name is Dashwindan, son of Madan. I'm going to talk about overview of Google. Google in full, Google LLC, formerly Google Inc. from 1998 to 2017, an American search engine company founded in 1998 by Sergey Brin and Larry Page, a subsidiary of the holding company Alphabet Inc. The term Google derived from the misspelling of the word Google, which corresponds to 10,100, the number identified by one followed by 100 zeros. In 2006, the word Google was applied to the Merriam-Webster Collegiate Dictionary and the Oxford English Dictionary, meaning to the use the Google search engine to obtain information on the internet. Google's large product range and the scale make it one of the top 4 leading high-tech firms along with Apple, IBM and Microsoft. Google's software creation philosophies allow timely and continual growth with regular launches of the early stage innovations that are later iterated and enhanced. Google also makes product available early in their production process by uploading them to Google Labs to research location online or directly to google.com. The first sponsorship to Google as a company was received in August 1998 in the form of a $100,000 donation from Andy Bechtolsheim, co-founder of Sun Microsystems, to a corporation that did not yet exist. Google tries to learn of areas in which technologies will enhance traditional ways of doing businesses. New technologies are being explored, developing and testing concepts, and bundling platforms are being developed to make them more useful to make marketers and publishers to use the Google. However, no matter how distant Google business model develops from its beginning, the source remains to deliver valuable and meaningful knowledge to those who are more important part of ecosystem, the millions of users around the world who rely on Google search to provide the answer that they are searching for. With that, thank you.
Compensation activities. Compensation Google policy is extremely competitive. The business along with the bonuses are non-conventional advantage, offer high wages. There are financial and moral rewards granted. In addition, services such as life care, retirement pension, regular meals and free use of fitness facilities offered by the organizations. Career development. Matching individual organization by filling a roles based on a mix of performance evaluations and interviews. Google Fit Humans are corporate needs. In this content, Google's management of human resources approach discuss person job fit, person organization fit and person group fit to match employee and organization needs. Identification of career chances and criteria. Google's HR management defines work prospects and expectations by a mixture of role review and coaching. Instituting programs for employment growth. The human resource management of the organization advises workers of potential job prospects before or during appraisal. Furthermore, when the needs arises, the company institutes certain professional growth programs, such as when a new venture of product is created for Google. Planning activities. Forecasting. Google Human Resource Management at Google use pattern analysis and scenario analysis for each resulting scenario analyst involved in evaluating. In this way, for HR markets uses a mix of quantitative and qualitative techniques. Employment excess and deficit. Google are primarily concerned the surplus and lack of human capital was not a major problem in the production and supply of web-based and software goods. Supply and demand control. When it comes to managing human resource supply and demand, Google's human resource management faces modern challenges even if the market for web-based and software goods are internet advertisement service is growing. Because of the digital nature of those products, Google does not need to expect its human capital in this business area. Job analysis and design activities. organizational structure, the corporate structure of Google helps the corporations to meet the demands of human resource in a flexible way. The interconnection in the matrix organizational framework of the enterprise allow human resource managers to quickly define cross-linkers between various areas of the organization and use this data for job analysis and management process. Job analysis technique, a mixture of worker-oriented method of job analysis and work-oriented methods of job analysis, is used by Google. However, in the positions such as those in research and development as well as job in product design and engineering, the organization stressed the use of work-oriented role analysis approach. Google highlights the technique of work-oriented and role of research of occupations that require substantial organizational skills such as roles in human resource management. Job descriptions and specification. Google provides widely diverse task descriptions and specification attributes to the large scale of the company. For the starter, the job descriptions and specification position in product protection vary dramatically from the work descriptions and specification for human resource management positions. All the workers, Google stress those qualities such as smartness and drive for success in all work positions. The entire
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Wahyu Muhammad Jamil. I'm going to explain training and development and also safety and health of Google. Okay, so training and development can be defined the best as an educational activities that happen in every company and also organization, in also to enhance, sharpen, and enable the employees to approach more skills and knowledge. Okay, so based on research, Google have done the training by using this formula, which is G2G, Googler to Googler among the employees. Okay, the result for practicing the formula is successful because they believe that when they do sharing among them, there is no barriers that will make them feel uncomfortable. So here are the few training and development in Google organization. First is need analysis, second is program design, third is delivery, and also the fourth one is evaluation. In addition, Google HR is not only analyze the employees' need, but they also check on their continuous performance to discover the inner problem that might block their creativity and productivity in performing the task. So to make it short, after they done tested in training and analysis, the HR management will monitor and focus on their performance. Okay, so here's 5 Google's performance management practice. First is performance training, second is performance interviews, third one is linked to a corporate objective, fourth one is the performance problem, and the fifth one is measurement and standard. Okay, next is Google safety and health. It is undeniable that Google is too good with their employees. Instead of giving a lot of benefits working under them, Google is also providing wellness activities for their employees. Okay, so here's a few ways on how Google take good care of the employees. First is keeping the employee active at all time. Okay, in the Google corporate office, slides that lead from upper floors to the lower floors, hidden ladders, scooters, and ping-pong tables are just a few of fun items that you might find in that company. In this case, we found out that Google is actually engaging staff and promoting physical activity by fascinating employees to enjoy in the workplace and not stressing over the workload. Second is encouraging a healthy diet for the employee. Okay, so Google is providing a cafeteria with the free food and nutritious snacks, whereby the healthy ingredients such as the fresh vegetables were put in a green containers, while the less healthy ingredients such as croutons are in the red containers. The third one is supporting the employees' mental health. Okay, so every organization is introducing WFH, which is work from home during this pandemic COVID-19. So the way Google support employees' mental health is by promoting self-care while doing WFH, because work from home means isolating ourselves from outside environment to keep us giving attention and focus on our duties as workers. So Google make sure that all the Googlers to stay active to the work at the same time. Spending time with the loved one, eat and consume nutrition meals, and not to forget.
So I proceed with the collaboration and also the acquired some companies from the Google. So actually Google have a good technology on the software and also hardware, but the big thing or the big question is why Google must acquire some companies. For example, like Google buying the HTC department, which is R&D, Research and Development department, to produce their product for the Pixel 4 and many more. This is because HTC R&D department have a good knowledge on the software, and they know that a Google employee doesn't have enough knowledge and skill to develop a new software and also hardware. And we must think like Samsung and also Apple, which is they only use the internal employee to develop a new product. Like Apple, we have a Silicon, which is the newest processor for the Apple MacBook Pro and many more. Next part is about the age bias, which is we know that Google average ages of the employees is 30 years old, and this make the big sense, which is Google have the ages bias. Then they don't want to hire the employee that are more than 30 years old. So like for example, some cases are like Brian Reid, which is Google fired him on 2014 until 2015 because Brian Reid cannot fit with the cultural in the Google, which is young of youth culture, and this case go into the court on that year, and Google was fined for millions dollar for these bias issues. Alright, the last part is about the mental health issue. Actually, the big company have a many pressure like Google, Apple and also Samsung, since they should deal with many employees. Like Google, since pandemic COVID-19, they must deal with 130,000 employees, and actually they don't have any record. Their record is very clean, but in my opinion, Google should improve their HRM department because they need to deal with the employee during COVID-19. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rishiban. Today I want to talk about the issue in the Google company and its solution. My first issue is about the less recruitment of technology and risk expert. As we all know, Google is a famous and expert in internet related product and services such as cloud computing, hardware and software, search engine, advertising technologies and so on. Moreover, Google is one of the main accounts used by the most of the people in this world. Based on that, data of the user is very important. Privacy, confidential, and Google should handle or preserve their data very carefully. Even though there is a strong layer of the protection of the data center of the Google, but still there is remains some loophole which contributing for the data theft by the hackers. In order to maximize the security of the data of the users, human resource team should hire more talented cybersecurity practitioner and technology risk management expert in the Google Data Cloud Center. It is very important to sustain workers or recruit more cybersecurity to workers to secure the data of the users and can avoid theft of the data. Human resource team should also educate the staff on appropriate and guided usage of the customer data for further analysis and advertising purposes. This would among the best way to protect the Google customer data from being weaponized and used for the wrong thing. My second issue is harassment and other form of workplace abuses. The harassment could be in many forms, from mental harassment to physical harassment. There have been many harassment cases in Google Workplace. This matter should be carefully handled by the human resource team of the Google, but they fail to deliver the assistance for those who has been victimized of harassment in the workplace. The most common harassment happened in the Google from 2015 to 2020 as reported by ex-employee of the Google is discriminatory harassment, psychological harassment, power harassment and sexual harassment. The solution for the issue is the Google human resource team should treat the complaint of report that made by the staff with respect and compassion towards it. Human resource team should not downplay or belittle the workers' complaint. Human resource should implement, update or review new harassment policy for the company. Furthermore, human resource team of Google should shows the sign that they are open and ready to help the employee to fight the harassment issue in the workplace. My third issue is unethical work culture in Google. Google is one of the best companies in the world, and Google has its own working culture policy, which is a free work environment, positive and innovative culture environment. Yes, the Google human resource team always ensure and committed to provide the best and positive environment for subordinates and staff, which could create a vibrant in workplace. The most common issue arises is backdoor dealing by the top management staff cronyism, rules-breaking practices, certain level of favoritism from top to down management, lack of moral leadership, and etc. Google Human Resource Management should take this thing very seriously because it could affect the credibility of the company and can bring bad names for the company. Furthermore, the human resource team of the Google should send all the staff for the training and development program and educate the staff on importance of the ethics and behavior in working culture. It could boost the performance of the working staff and contribute to the growth of the Google company.
Hello, my name is Amiratika and today I want to talk about Google issue. The first issue that I want to talk about is disagreement between employer and employee. The employer do not trust the employee because in one case the employer banned the employee to travel during the work time. In my opinion, the employee must have faith and empathy towards the employee so they can work together very well. Make a protest because of forced attribution in the employer contract. The second issue that I want to talk about is also disagreement between employee and employer. In 2018, the employee, but this case soon ended because the Google find out and solve it. In my opinion, this issue can be prevented by sharing details so they can build relationship between each other. At the heels, the third issue that I want to talk about is salary and benefit. All the workers have the full benefit same as the full-time worker. Meanwhile, at the Mountain View, only full-time workers have the benefit as a full-time, but the part-time do not have the benefit as the full-time. So, the Mountain View want the benefit same as the full-time worker. In my opinion, to solve this issue, the company must beware towards the staff because the staff may know what the rival pay. Employee might go to the rival, the company secret may be revealed. So the employer must be careful and give the benefit same as the full worker. I want to prevent this issue. Employer must reward the staff or employee because they have a good job or do the job very well. Thank you.